Everybody, it's me, Andrew. Get out into nature and tune in for yourself. Resonate with the Earth's electromagnetic field via 432 hertz, the universal frequency. Balance out psychologically and emotionally, and further strengthen up your brain and your heart's coherence as well. Get a plant based diet going for yourselves today and nurture yourself right back into life. We are literally herbivores in our nature. Further balance out your physical body's pH level and get with alkalinity. Then you can generate some static electricity. Send me some love telepathically. Set attention to your mind and set intention to communicate. That is all there is to telepathy. You are now tuning in to great days. So this morning I'm gonna talk a little on castrations chemically, and I'm gonna also go over what this may lead to, and I'm gonna get in depth on this today. Okay, so stay tuned. All right. So I covered one video very recently ago. It was pretty much about chemical castration, but not the castration, the type of castrations you get for like uh, pedophile offense, something like that. It's more so castration to everybody. Everybody who is living on the according to the guidelines in terms of society. Okay, this society specifically. Um, so that video I pretty much covered. That they are the most common herbicide and pesticide. Atrazine is has been proven to turn testosterone into estrogen, and they were doing this to rats. So on some level, it is doing this to humans as well, and this is the most common pesticide and herbicide that is being used within the states. So it makes you start to wonder, why would they need to be turning testosterone into estrogen within the male? Um, and I wanted to pretty much get into this today. So, why would they be doing such a thing? Why would they be castrating people? This is going to be purely speculation because I don't have any evidence there, but to get in depth to what is going to happen from these castrations, I don't know for sure, but I'm just going to speculate on it. Okay, so one thing that I was thinking is they are dropping the male seed. Okay, and this is this is very sensical. This is common sense only because if the process of castration involves dropping the male seed, okay, and not dropping the male seed to bring birth, dropping the male seed, like doing away with it, okay, because this is what castration is, so dropping the male seed. The only reason I say this is because it's atrazine is one chemical, and there's many chemicals. There's over thousands that we don't really know about and that we are taking in every single day and that are affecting us. They're mutating us, and through these mutations, we are supposed to reach levels of evolution. Okay, because through mutations come evolution. So there's a lot of Maya in it as well, because it's not truly a bad thing, but you can always take conscious direction of your evolution yourself. So this is why we need to become aware of what they are doing to us unconsciously or discreetly doing to us, so we can become aware of it and then take charge of our own evolutionary path, and then bring about a more conducive global state for the people who are interested in this, so for expansion, more conducive state for expansion. So many different chemicals, and atrazine is one that is castrating us on some level. It's turning testosterone into estrogen. Okay, and estrogen is it's the substance needed for the female's development of reproductive systems. Okay, so it's turning our testosterone, the males specifically, into estrogen, and we are now holding estrogen in us, and then this is mutating us in a certain way. Obviously, I don't know exactly how it's mutating us. All I can say is that it's developing. It's for the development of female reproductive systems. So whatever having this in the male does to us, it's going to increase that type of mutation. And then where it leads to, I wouldn't be able to say for sure because I don't have the knowledge on the pathway. But I can say that I'm sure it involves dropping the seed in the way that castration involves dropping the seed. There's no more male seed. And one thing that I want to say about GMOs as well is that the foods without seeds, there's fruits being modified to be grown without seeds. I want to say that these are going to also modify you genetically to decrease in the amount of seeds that are potent within you. Okay, and it's like if you're eating grape without seeds in it, the genetic information of that grape is supposed to produce seeds, but since they do away with it, then there's information that is the information to grow the seeds within that grape is not there anymore. So we are being given the information to not produce seeds if we're eating fruits that are seedless, if that makes any sense. If you're a man and you're eating seedless fruits, then the information is going into your genetics, and then genetically you're mutating to, on some level, produce less seeds, and or maybe less potent seeds, which basically means that your seeds may not work as much as they would have some time ago. So that's something that comes with eating seedless fruits, my bad, which is why Dr. Sebi says to avoid seedless fruits, because they're not natural, they're not right. So you always want to eat fruits with seeds in them, or just grow your own. Okay, but dropping the male seed, I want to say this could be in humanity's future, and then to replace what they would replace it with, and this is just speculation, what they would replace the reproductive system with after having deleted the male's seed would be maybe some type of interdimensional conception, where you really would not even need to have physical sex, or more so they want to make reproduction less a physical thing and more of a conceptual thing, and what I mean by this is that since they are starting to create transhumans, and this is where they start to create pretty much cyborgs, where they start to have microchips implanted into people, and then having us stored in the metaverse and all this. By that point, we wouldn't need to be having physical sex in order to reproduce, if reproduction is something that we are still doing at that time, because they can also cancel out reproduction as well, I believe so. If it's going into all of that, which it is going into all of that. So why would they be doing this though? Why would they be deleting out the male seed? I want to say it's kind of like, why would they be making fruits without seeds in them? It's because it's part of a plantation. They don't want you to get a fruit and they don't want you to grow your own farm with it, or they want you to be modified genetically by eating the fruit. So there's many different benefits for the people who are overseeing to pretty much make the fruit non-seeded. So if they're making the males seedless as well, then it's also part of that same system, which is pretty much a plantation. It's pretty much like a farm. So they're pretty much farming us, and that's what it's connecting to. But like I said, I wouldn't be able to go too in depth with it because it's all I don't have the true accurate information. All I can go off is more vague points, that are already there because we can see it from here now. But there's much more there. It just takes a little bit more meditation in order to pull or pick up on what is already happening, because it's already happening. Nobody really knew we were being castrated on a chemical by chemicals in our water and food, unless you really did some deep research, or you're like super meditative. But it's happening, and if you observe a little bit, you can see that maybe the masculine is becoming a little less brutish and more, maybe a little bit more petite, or more feminine in a sense, more sensitive and more emotionally feeling, or more emotionally receptive, more feminine basically. So once again, why would they be doing this? It's part of a plantation process. It's part of a farming. I can't really say. I don't really know what further it's leading to. All I know is it's just part of a plantation. If we're getting into like the metaverse and all that, then they can completely do away with the male seed, and they can completely do away with physical reproduction as well, and they can make it of a pure digital type of reproduction, or like conceptual reproduction. And there's been beings in the past that are able to do this. Interdimensional conception is a thing. This is how Jesus was born. He was not born of physical sex. He was born of interdimensional conception, which is sex without physicality. Thoth, the Egyptian god, is also said to be born of interdimensional conception along with his brothers. And I do believe Krishna as well was born in this same way. So it's possible to do this. I don't know if they would just give that to mass people, though, is the whole thing, because that's something for the chosen, like the really, really chosen beings. Jesus, Krishna, Thoth, they're all chosen beings, very, very, very divine beings, and they were all born of interdimensional conception. So I don't know if they would just give this to mass people, but it's always possible. Once again, it's all speculation, because I don't really know where it's going to go. I just know some points here and there, just to get you thinking, and then together, neurologically networked, we can understand something, so dropping the male seed, they are most definitely doing this. They are most definitely canceling out the male seed. Okay, and what we can do about it is we can avoid it if you want to keep your genetics and not go through with their process of mutations. Because once again, mutations are most definitely needed, but following in with like the plantations mutations is a little bit different, because you don't actually, it's kind of their say, how you're going to be mutated, when we already hold the intelligence to guide our own mutations consciously. So if you have the intelligence to guide your own mutation consciously, then you should most definitely use that, instead of allowing somebody else to use that part of you to develop your mutations for you, because how we're mutating ourselves is how we're evolving ourselves, and as they're doing this in collective, they can decide the collective evolution, which is kind of like the mainstream evolution in a way. But if you want to go with your own more divine type of more unique and divine type of evolution for yourself, then you want to take charge of your ability to mutate yourself genetically. So, and in order to do this, you need to distance yourself from society. You need to get out and live by yourself, or with least people who are also on the same wavelength. And you need to take charge of the genetic mutations or the information yourself. And then you can start deciding your own evolutionary path. And this is what is needed, because this is what is going to breed gods and goddesses, other than staying in their plantation, because they're just breeding they're just breeding beings more for farming, because it's part of the matrix, it's part of the plantation. So yeah, watch out for the castration going on. It's not something, it's absolutely insane, I'm sure this has happened before, though, plenty of times in ancient times, because history repeats itself. So, as long as we're dependent on their food supply, their water, and we're living on their land that they are supposedly owning, quote unquote, then they also are owning us as peoples, and they can then decide what they can do with us peoples, because in that position we don't decide, because it's all their say. So that's pretty much going to be it for today's video. Once again, I hope you did enjoy. Make sure to get out into nature and tune in for yourself, and resonate with the electromagnetic field. It is most definitely needed for healing. Peace out. Generate some static electricity from the etheric body. One love. Have a great morning.